إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع.
The creator of the universes and their sustainer, the provider of believers and unbelievers, and may his choicest blessings be on the seal of his prophets, the last of his messengers and his holy progeny, and in particular may his ever-flowing blessings be on the immediate successor to the holy prophet, on Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Yesterday, in discussing the fadila, the excellence of Imam Ali alayhi salam, I set out a catalogue of 14 excellences that have been set out in that order by Sheikh Abbas Kume alayhi rahmah. A couple of them we had not discussed at all, to which I hope I allotted some time yesterday. A number of them we had discussed, so I rushed through them so that I do not take your time unduly. But there were a couple which I thought we did not do justice to before and were not able because of time to do justice to yesterday. So before I proceed to the agenda I had set out for tonight, I would like even briefly to touch on those two subjects. The first is the subject of miracles. The only reason I want to touch on that subject is that it may be out of place not even to mention that subject, because Imam Ali alayhi salam is known as Madhar al-Ajaib, one who manifested ajaib, strange things that are uncommon, things that one does not see normally in life. That indeed is a title he received because of the continuous, repeated performances by him which men could not understand. Of course, we have already touched a few of them. One, for example, that we touched was the return of the Shams, the return of the sun. But as I have said before, the return of the sun was not something that occurred only during the time of the Holy Prophet. Yes, we discussed how on a return from a battle, the Holy Prophet's head was on his laps. He didn't move. His namaz time was over, and how the Holy Prophet suggested that there should be a prayer that the sun should return, and that prayer of the Holy Prophet was accepted. Well, even after the martyrdom of the Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him and his family, this incident occurred again during his trip to Siffin, when the army was crossing the Euphrates to enter into Syria. The procedure took so long. Imam Ali alayhi salam had already said his prayers, but the army's procedure took so long that a number of people involved in that crossing had not said their prayers, and the prayer time was complete. And they complained to Imam Ali alayhi salam, regretting that that had happened, and Imam Ali alayhi salam said, your such sincerity in wishing to have said your prayers is such that Allah will return the sun for you. And the sun was returned, and Imam Ali alayhi salam led their prayers once again, and even mu'mineen were able to say their prayers. So one can see how this particular capacity of Imam Ali alayhi salam was used by him not only for himself. In other words, it was not a capacity given to him by Allah for personal use only. It was capacity given to be used at his discretion. And that discretion he exercised when there was need. Here was a case of people who were out to give their lives in the cause of Allah. Imam Ali alayhi salam did not wish to see that in that process they were deprived even of one salah to recite at the correct time. But that was a miracle they all saw happen. In the course of that journey was that other miracle of how he found water at a place where the hermit said, according to the books, only a true successor of the last prophet would be able to trace where the well was. We have gone through that. We have gone through examining how he predicted to Salman, a close companion of the Prophet, close companion of Hazrat Amir. Indeed, he was the governor of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam in Madain. And a lot of things people in Madain saw even at the hands of Salman. But Imam Ali alayhi salam had predicted to him how he would die in Madain. And so Salman said, but who will then lead my prayers? My wish was that, Mawla, you should be able to bless me before I go. And Hazrat Amir alayhi salam said, Salman, I will be there. I will not only attend to your prayers, I will attend to your burial. And so he did. In twinkling of an eye, he was from Kufa to Madain and performed the last rites of Salman. These are very well known miracles of Imam Ali alayhi salam. But there are other miracles too which are less known but occurred in public. For example, it is reported that on one occasion Imam Ali alayhi salam was delivering a khutbah, a sermon in the masjid at Kufa in his usual vein, and suddenly people saw a snake coming out from the ground, and the snake kept moving up. Those who saw the snake, of course, got terrified, got terribly terrified, but did not know how to interrupt that irresistible flow of thoughts and language of Imam Ali alayhi salam, his excellence of eloquence we discussed yesterday. And then they were unsure how to react. Some were so spellbound that they did not even see the snake. But this snake kept coming up until a stage was reached when the mouth of the snake was close to the ear of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And at that stage Imam Ali alayhi salam sought forgiveness of his audience for a minute, turned to the snake and listened to what the snake had to say. The snake, having said whatever he wanted to say, lips of Hazrat Amir were seen moving. Of course, there was nobody there to understand what he was saying. And the moment he uttered those words into the ear of the snake descended right down into the ground. And Hazrat Amir continued with his khutbah. One wishes that also happened with Shaqshaqiyah, which got interrupted forever. However, when that sermon was over, companions gathered around him, says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, this is a fantastic miracle we saw you perform. What was the matter? What did this snake say to you? What did he want? And Hazrat Amir alayhi salam explained. And it is so important that not only the youth of this community should know for whose purpose these sittings are held and for whose benefit these discussions take place, but that the world at large should know the answer to Hazrat Amir alayhi salam. He said that when Allah appoints His representative, His hujjah on earth, that hujjah is not only for men, He is for the entire creation. When He did create the hujjah, He says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa, that I want to appoint a representative on earth. There was no restriction to the parameters of the functioning of the Khalifa, that Khalifa will be for men because he's men. So he said, my responsibilities extend to the entire creation of Allah. The snake was one of the creation. One of them underground was sick. They did not know how to treat him. The usual remedies given to him did not work. The snake decided that as I was here, he would come up and ask me the question, and I told him what remedy will work for the sick snake. The flow of assistance and the availability of guidance from Hazrat Amir alayhi salam was such that it extended to whosoever wanted help. Hence do we say, and that help remains, as I say, till today. Hence do we say that help was sought from him by the Holy Prophet. Help was sought from him by all the mu'mineen of the time, entirely because that was a function for which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created him. It was a grace from Allah, it was a responsibility imposed on him by Allah. And this is how he operated. But he not only cured the animals, the way he cured humanity is abundantly known. Indeed, volumes exist on that particular point. Indeed, it is stated in Sunni sources that one representative, one officer from Muawiyah's army was making tawaf, and this is after Siffin. He suddenly sees two little girls making tawaf. We have prayers we say during tawaf, and all sects have their own prayers, and a number of the prayers are common. Muslims recite those du'as when they are at the gate of the Kaaba, when they come to the Rukn, when they are at Hijr Ismail, definite du'as. These two girls did not recite those du'as. Throughout their 7 tawafs, they only had 2 things to say. O Allah, bless Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. O Allah, increase the grace that you have kept on Ali alayhi salam. This person found that baffling. That was a time when people in Syria were being accustomed by Muawiyah to curse Imam Ali alayhi salam. So to him, this was a strange episode. Once their tawaf was over, he interrupted himself and grabbed those girls and said, look, I heard you just recite this dua. What has Ali done for you that you should be doing this? And she said, our father went to Siffin, and in that battle he was martyred. We 2 girls were born blind, and hence there was no way that we could have obtained any particular help, any particular cure. We remained like that. Our father used to look after us. After Siffin, there was nobody to look after us, and our mother was really in strained circumstances. Suddenly one night, a person comes into the house, knocks the door. We were scared. He said, open the door, I am Ali. This is why he gave his identity. When he entered, He first of all took both of us, sat down, took both of us and kept us on his laps. Then started talking to my mother. And my mother said, "Oh Ali, you know what happened to my husband?" And Imam Ali says, "I know too well. He was with me in Siffin. I know too well about him. You should have no concern about him. My concern is about you." And she said, "My first concern is about these two children." And they say all that Imam Ali alayhi salam did was to spread his two hands over our eyes, asking her casually, "Why are you worried about these two girls?" She said, "They are blind." And Imam Ali says, "No, they no longer are blind." Asked us, "Open your eyes," and we could see with both our eyes. That was Imam Ali alayhi salam operating immediately after Siffin. He then turns to the lady and says, "You have problems too. So I have come to ensure that your provision is made," and gave her the provision she would need and left for good. Those children turn to this man and say, "If you were in our place, wouldn't you be praying for Ali just as we did?" That is an acknowledgement of gratitude which was announced by the people, by those two girls at least, in the Kaaba. Well, the question that puzzles me personally is this. This is one instance we came to know, because those girls praised him aloud. How many are there who in the heart of their hearts wish for grace on Ali, in the hearts of their hearts thank Ali for what, and Allah for what he did for them? And how many of his grace and wonders are thereby concealed by history only because he never did these things so that the world should know? And that is a performance of Ali that did not die with his physical death. It continued. So well known is the episode of Laylatul Mi'raj. It is reported by Sheikh Abbas Kumi in Mafatihul Jinan also from a Sunni source. Mafatihul Jinan on that particular point says it is reported from a Sunni source that a king, one traveler traveling in the Middle East, discovered that some strange miracles happened on the Laylatul Mi'raj. The ziyarah for Laylatul Mab'ath is in Najaf. There is a makhsus ziyarah to be recited for Imam Ali alayhi salam on the eve of Mi'raj. And a number of people gather there, but this traveler learnt from another traveler that numerous miracles occur at this shrine on Laylatul Mab'ath. And so he decided he would go. And when he entered, he saw a lot of people who were lame. Some did not have their one leg at all. Some could not walk on 2 feet, were on crutches. They were all sitting there in line. So he asked them, "Why are you sitting here?" And they explained to this man, "We are sitting here because it is very well known in our areas that anybody with a physical ailment like this should come to Ali alayhi salam, and this is centuries after the martyrdom of Ali, should come to Ali alayhi salam at his shrine, and he goes with his 2 feet functioning, with his 2 legs functioning. So we have come for that purpose." So this man asked, "Well, why then aren't your legs in order?" They say, "We were late in coming in. By the time we came in, Zawar, the pilgrims have already thronged the shrine. We have not had room, but those who come specially are taken early in the night. They're taken early in the night and tied to the shrine by the people working there. They will come out." And he said, and they said to him, "Stay till dawn. When it will be Fajr, at Adhan al-Fajr, you will find that each one of them who is tied to the shrine will stand up and walk out to say his prayers in an ordinary man, in an ordinary fashion, like an ordinary man." And he said, "So I saw, and I was bewildered that happened." Indeed, it is reported that one Shah of Iran, one night, went there and saw a group of people sitting outside the shrine of Imam Ali alayhi salam and said, I do not believe that you people are sincerely asking Ali, because I do not believe that sincerely would one ask Ali for shafa'ah and not get it on the spot. And he said to them, I give you this night. If by tomorrow morning all of you don't come out of this shrine well, I'll kill you all. And they all came out well. He told them, you are only making an excuse to make money out of people by begging in your condition. But you should get well tonight if you pray to Ali alayhi salam, and do not degrade this place by staying in this way. Next morning they were all well. But there are things that you hear about the shrine that books will not tell you. And somehow I'm tempted to say that to you, that when I was in Najaf on one of those trips that I was fortunate to have, I met a khuddam and we were discussing the kind of things that happen in that shrine. The miracles that happen, the way the Imam alayhi salam operates his government from that little shrine of his. And he was saying that in my youthhood, he was an elderly person, of course, may Allah bless his soul. In our youthhood, we knew a Hindustani, and this is why I was tempted to say this, a person from India who came all alone in Najaf, only to be a neighbor to Imam Ali alayhi salam, a mujawir as he is called. And he wouldn't get any work. So he decided he would pray to Imam Ali alayhi salam. He was no scholar, he was no alim, and he says people, the khuddam around there, came to know that he would every morning after Fajr prayers stand near the shrine of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and as you know, there are those holes in the webs, in the mesh, in the silver mesh. He would put his hand in that mesh. Look at the faith of this person. He would put his hand into the mesh and say, Mawla, rupio de de. Oh my master, give me 1 rupee. And he would say it in his Urdu or Hindi, whatever you want to call it. And soon the people would see that he has clenched his hand, and without saying thank you or anything, would run out of the shrine and would go and buy his full loaf load of loaves to last him the full day. Every time the khuddam wanted to seize him to look at that rupee, they did not want to seize that rupee, they did not want to take it away from him. They say all they wanted to do was to kiss it. All they wanted to do was to kiss it. He wouldn't let them. He would say, this is my rupee, Mawla has given it to me, scared that they might take it away. Some of those khuddams have always had a bad name, by the way, those circling the shrine of Aimma alayhimus salam. No wonder this man wouldn't let them look at him. So they decided to grab him, because he was but an elderly person. How much strength do you need to grab him and open his hand, kiss the coin and return it to him? Attempts made to open that clinch, the clinch wouldn't open. It wouldn't open. Imam Ali alayhi salam wanted to protect it in the hands of the one to whom he gave. So they realized the will of Mawla is that this hand will not move and we will not see what it is. Is it a rupee? And he would go to the shop and buy the loaves at a time when there is a group of people, because that is the time after Fajr prayers when, those of you who've been there will know, there is always a queue at people who make these rotis, the loaves. He would be in the queue and quickly give it away. They never were able to see what coin he was giving. But certainly the seller was, when he was told, made efforts to trace that coin, would just see coins like other coins. That place has operated in most fantastic of ways and in the most fantastic of manners. Indeed, Sheikh Abbas Qumi says it is not possible in one volume to say the sort of things that have happened there and continue to happen. That claim of Saluni, as I said yesterday, applies till today ask for anything. It is not confined to knowledge. This is how he operated, and those miracles continued all over the place. But his miracles also extended to his predictions of what is to happen in the future. I have had occasion, alhamdulillah, in this hall when it was a smaller place, in 1996, to discuss his predictions about the 12th Imam alayhi salam. Answers he gave to Asbagh bin Nabata, answers he gave to Salman. Books are full about the predictions he has made on the 12th Imam. But those are predictions of things to come. About himself, he had made prediction of how he would be killed, repeating the words of the Prophet, that the blood from my head will color my beard. But he went on and made predictions about how his children would die. He told them what would happen to them in public. It is said that on one occasion, knowing the sincerity of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and knowing that he was incapable of lying, totally incapable of lying, Muawiyah sent people to the mosque of Kufa to ask Imam Ali alayhi salam as to what would happen after him. Only because Muawiyah wanted to know, and Muawiyah wanted to establish his government and to organize his affairs. And he said, well, the best way to know the person who knows is Ali. Look at the world, the way it goes. He says, the person who knows is Ali. I will send a person, Ali will not hide the truth from him, and whatever Ali will say will be the truth and will happen. And I will come to know what is to happen, and I will organize my affairs in that way. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. But you can imagine how and to what extent the devil will make a human being abuse the grace from Allah for entirely illicit purposes. And Muawiyah did that quite unashamedly. Imam Ali alayhi salam, unresisted, informed the people that I will be killed in this mosque, and Hassan, my son, may peace be upon him, will succeed me. And he said exactly how Muawiyah will through his trickery wants to take away the Khilafah, and ultimately he will set up the Muslim Khilafah in his own regime in Syria. He said that very clearly, and that is precisely what happened. Not that Muawiyah did not know it would happen. All I am trying to do is to satisfy the youth that if they feel miracles is a sign of imamah, if predictions of future events is a sign of imamah, then those were more than amply satisfied in the case of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And not only that, not only events to come. Yesterday I mentioned how he warned Imam Hussein alayhi salam as to what will happen to him, and how he recited a complete majlis on Karbala before even Karbala took place, when he was going to Siffin. Companions of the Prophet sat and cried over Hussein alayhi salam. Why are we being told this is a bid'ah? Those who make this allegation should go back to know what the companions of the Prophet did in Karbala when Imam Ali alayhi salam recited the first majlis. Indeed, when even the Holy Prophet recited a majlis. But not digress too long for that, on that aspect. A number of his companions were told, for example, Maytham Tammar. Maytham was told by Imam Ali alayhi salam, "O Maytham, do not be so friendly to me. Do not show your love for me as much as you do." Maytham says, "Mawla, I am unable to keep to myself my love for you. I am unable to hide it." Because it was overflowing from Maytham. Ali alayhi salam says, "Maytham, you will pay dearly for it." And Maytham says, "Oh Mawla, if I pay dearly for having love for you, then who is more lucky than me?" Indeed, the Holy Prophet had said that he who expresses love for Ali receives salvation. I wanted to cite this in another context, but as we are on it, may I do so straight away. And the Holy Prophet said it as reported in Sunni sources. Just one or two Sunni sources quickly. One is Shablanji, and Shablanji sets this out in Nurul Absar at page 93. He says that the Holy Prophet said to Ali, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه لعلي رضي الله عنه حبك إيمان وبغضك نفاق. Oh Ali, love for you is faith, that is Islam, and بغضك, hating you, grudging you, is hypocrisy. And he didn't end there. According to Shiblanji, I'm not citing Majlisi to you. Shiblanji says, the Holy Prophet proceeded to say, وَأَوَّلُ مَنْ يَدْخَلُ الْجَنَّةِ مُحِبُّكَ, and the first to enter Jannah will be one who loves you. وَأَوَّلُ مَنْ يَدْخُلُ النَّارِ مُبْغِضُكَ, and the first to enter hell will be one who hates you. And Ahmad bin Hanbal in Musnad says, again through his sources, that Salma said, سمعت رسول الله يقول لعلي, I heard the Holy Prophet say to Ali, لا يبغضك مؤمن, a mu'min cannot have hatred for you, a mu'min cannot have ill will against you, ولا يحبك منافق, nor can a hypocrite love you. These are words from the Holy Prophet. Can one say, ma'adallah, that one will not follow them? And they are reported in leading Sunni sources. However, Maytham says, Mawla, I can't resist this. This is my state. So, Mawla says, Maytham, you will pay dearly for it. He says, who is more lucky? But tell me, how will I pay for it? And Imam Ali says, Maytham, you truly want to know? He says, yes, I want to know, because I want that to happen today before tomorrow. Imam Ali says, no, Maytham, it will not happen whilst I am alive. It will happen after me. And takes him to a tree in Kufa and says, Maytham, you will be asked if you love me. And when you say that you do, and when you will be heard speaking praises for me, you will be one of the first to be crucified in Kufa. This will be the tree on which you will be crucified. Yours will be the smallest crucifix. You will be crucified here. A spear will be put into your body 3 days after your crucifixion. Then 3 days later, blood will come out of your nostrils and your mouth. Then you will die. And that is the way you will die. Maytham is reported since that day to be going to that tree every day, and he would water the tree. He would water the tree and say, oh tree, you have been created by Allah for me. Keep growing, keep blossoming, so that when I am crucified on you, you can hold me well. One day, as he was doing this, the person having a house next to it came out, Amr bin Hurayth. Amr bin Hurayth saying that, says to him, oh Shaykh, what are you doing this? Why are you watering this tree every day? And Maytham had no secret of it, says, oh Amr, this is the tree on which I will be, says, oh Amr, I will be your neighbor, so behave in a neighborly way to me. I will be crucified on this tree for the love of Ali, and when that will happen, I will seek your neighborly feelings. And Amr bin Hurayth says, I am surprised by what you say, but I'm not so sure whether Amr didn't think that Maytham had gone mad. And a time came, this is now in the time of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. He once calls Maytham into his court and asks him exactly that, what he thinks of Imam Ali. And he says, Imam Ali is my master. And Ubaydullah says, well, in which case, will you be prepared to die in his cause? He says, yes. Would you be prepared to be killed because of Ali, or will you be prepared to curse him? And Maytham says, curse him? My Mawla told me years ago that you will kill me in this fashion. So, Ubaydullah says, Maytham, what did he say? How am I going to kill you? And Maytham repeats the entire episode. He said, you will crucifix me. You will crucify me. And I will be one of those, the first to be crucified in our history. And he has shown me the tree on which you will put me. And how I will be speared. Narrated the whole story. And at first Ubaydullah says, well, I will prove your master wrong. So Maytham says, try if you will. My master till his death did not utter one word which did not come true. This is public exclamation of the Imamah of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He did not utter one word which did not come true, and you will do this. You will do exactly what he has told me, and I am ready for it. So Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad says, very well, then I will do it. It's shaitan troubling them. I will do it. But it will be because your master said it. And Maytham says, oh Ubaydullah, it will be not because my master said it, but because you want to do it. The act is yours, and the judgment against it will be yours. You will pay for it. And exactly that happened. And when Amr bin Hurayth sees this, he goes to Maytham. When Maytham is on the crucifix, says, Maytham, you always said it. Maytham says, don't say that. Don't say that I always say it. Say, Ali always said so. Because he told me that. And you see that happening again and again. Rushayd ibn Hijri, a close companion of the Holy Prophet, he too was treated in exactly that way. He was treated that way by Ziyad. And when Ziyad said, what did your master tell you? He says, yes, my master told me that you will kill me entirely because you are not able to withstand a person who loves Ali. Ziyad says, very well then, I will have you killed. Take him and kill him. And Rushayd says, oh Ziyad, it is not going to be so soon as that. You will do something else before I am killed. And he says, he orders, cut out his tongue before he is killed. And Rushayd says exactly that, because that is what my Mawla told me, that you will cut out my tongue first before you kill me. You can see the exactitude of these prophecies coming true. But these episodes that appear in all our leading books, unanimously reported by our scholars, shows how precious and dear to us is the question of the Imamah of Imam Ali alayhi salam. It is not a question that has come down to us in a cheap way. Holy blood has flown for it. Blood of companions, and these are all companions of the Prophet. Blood of the companions of the Prophet has been flown by the enemies of Ali, those who had bughd of Ali, so that the name of Ali should not survive. But the more such efforts were made, brighter has his name become. Indeed, one of the miracles set out in all books of Imam Ali alayhi salam is that despite the fact that all this was done, yet his name has remained till today and kept blossoming. And his name kept blossoming. That, our scholars say, is a miracle by itself. For 90 years, there was a curse on his name from the mimbar of Damascus. Is that something that can be belittled? And the enmity that these leaders had against Imam Ali alayhi salam went so far that one day Hajjaj bin Yusuf Thaqafi sits in his court and says, today I feel like shedding the blood of someone who loves Ali. Can you believe that happening? Tell me who loves Ali. And one of the courtiers stands up and says, there isn't one living who perhaps loves Ali more than Kambar. Kambar served Ali for years. And they say, arrest Kambar and bring him. And when Kambar is brought, he says, Kambar, why do you think I have called you here? Kambar says, my master told me that on this day you will call me here so that you kill me. And he says, what did your master tell you? For what wrong am I going to kill you? And Kambar says, oh Hajjaj, he told me you will kill me only because of my love for him. So Hajjaj says, Kambar, are you prepared still to say that you love Ali? Are you not prepared to curse him in this court? And Kambar says, Hajjaj, I have served my master for so long that if you were today to decide that you will cut me into pieces, you may do so. Each one piece of my body will still be reciting the praises of Ali. And that is how Kambar died. He too was killed by Hajjaj bin Yusuf. And this is the way in which they all went. But these were predictions made by Imam Ali alayhi salam in his lifetime to his companions, which the people saw come true in a small span of life. We insha'Allah look forward to those prophecies of his for us coming true as soon as possible when the 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi, Ajjalallahu Farajahu, comes down to earth, reappears on earth, and spreads peace on earth and goodwill between mankind. But a stage was reached in the history of Imam Ali alayhi salam when the Kharajites, about whom we have discussed, and now we knew there were only about 9 who left the Harwan, but began to spread their message again. 3 of them, according to one version of history, and I emphasize according to one version of history, met in the Kaaba. Can you imagine the extent of the fanaticism of these zealots? They meet in that holy place to decide what they should do about Imam Ali alayhi salam, about Muawiyah and about Amr bin As, because these people held themselves out as caliphs. Their theory was that only Allah is the caliph. Couldn't be right. Allah can't be caliph. Allah is the creator of caliphs. He is the appointer of caliphs. Those zealots had no logic in their concept, and they decided that after the Harwan, what they should do is kill each one of them separately and on the same night. 3 people undertook this job. Bakr bin Abdullah decided that he will go to Damascus and kill Muawiyah, and Amr bin Bakr decided he will go to Egypt and kill Amr bin As, and Abdurrahman bin Muljam was assigned to come to Kufa and kill Mawla Ali alayhi salam. And the day assigned was the 3rd Friday of the holy month of Ramadan. You can see this vicious decision taken in the sacred place of the Kaaba to be implemented in the sacred month. And it is reported that the assassin of Muawiyah did get to Damascus and did strike Muawiyah on his groin. It is said that the attack was on his groin and not on his head, because he was wearing a silkish gown, leading prayers in a silkish gown, contrary to the rules of Islam. And so the sword slipped, but he hit hard and his groin was affected. He was saved. He did not die. But the doctor said that either he must undergo a hot treatment of iron, which he was not prepared to do, or be treated with medicine which will make him impotent. He preferred to be impotent but did not want to undergo the severe treatment. Well, he did not want to have fire in this world, so he preferred to be impotent. This person, his hands were cut off, his legs were cut off, and he was sent off to Basra. After a while he gets a son in Basra. When Ziyad comes to know, he was the governor of Basra then, comes to know this fellow has given birth to a child, calls him up and says, the Caliph in Damascus cannot have a child because of you, and you have had a child. That was sufficient reason to execute him. So he was killed in that way. The one who went to kill Amr bin As found a person leading morning prayers, believing him to be Amr bin As. He killed the person leading prayers. Next day he was called to the court. Amr bin As was sitting there. He turns around to him before Amr bin As says anything. He says, why are you sitting here? Amr bin As says, where do you think I was? So he says, I thought I killed you yesterday at morning prayers. And Amr bin As says, that is what you think. Allah has thought differently. Allah has thought that I should be killing you, and he was killed. But with what happened with Imam Ali alayhi salam at the hands of Abdurrahman bin Muljam, you know too well, because you hear that episode so often, and I will not consume your time on it. He came to Kufa and decided that he must undertake this function at a time when Imam Ali alayhi salam was in the course of prayer. This was decided because they knew that they could not even kill Imam Ali alayhi salam from behind. This was a cowardly act. It was not an act in which they confronted Imam Ali on a face-to-face battle. They killed him from his rear. Even that they did not dare to do when he was living as an ordinary man. It is when he was as a slave of Allah in his worship. And they knew that at that time Ali doesn't know what is going on in the world. He is concentrating in his deep prayers to Allah, submitting himself fully to Allah, that he is unaware of what happens in this world. Indeed, you know how the spear that had, the end of a spear that had been stuck in his leg, the Prophet said should be removed when he is in his prayers. And it was removed without he even noticing it. Knowing that, they took ill advantage of that situation of Imam Ali alayhi salam and killed him at that stage. But what I did want to discuss with you this evening, and do not wish to complete this session without doing so, is to discuss the will of Imam Ali alayhi salam that he made for us. There are three wills of Imam Ali alayhi salam. One was strictly for his children. One was directed to his children, but meant also for general humanity to follow. But one was directed towards us. You will find that in Nahjul Balagha as instrument number 47. And in that, the will is directed to his two sons, Al-Hasan and Al-Husayn alayhim as-salam. This is after Abdurrahman bin Muljam had inflicted his wound on Imam Ali's head. One is amazed at this personality's existence, knowledge and performance. One would have thought that with that wound on his head, and it is said that 10,000 dirhams of poison was purchased only to be applied on that sword. So you can imagine how much poison went into the head of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And this is exactly what the doctor said when the doctor was called. He says that in no time poison has spread right through his brain. There is nothing one can do to save this man. That person delivers a will of this kind. Not to mention the other wills. And there he says, Usikuma bitaqwallah. He addresses two people, his two sons. And the first thing he tells them, this is a paragraph, it's a very short paragraph, I will not detain you, directed to his two sons only. He says, Usikuma, I make wasiyah to you, bitaqwallah, that you should always fear Allah. And if only we lived on that teaching of Imam Ali alayhi salam, our lifestyles would change. He says to them, وَأَنْ لَا تَبْغِيَ الدُّنْيَا وَإِنْ بَغَتْكُمَا, and do not go after the world even if the world is coming after you. Even if the world chases you and wants you to be with the world, do not seek the world. Hence it was easy for Imam Hassan alayhi salam to do what he did. And we may have an opportunity inshallah to discuss how in what circumstances that occurred, which did befall Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And then he says, وَلَا تَأْسَفَ عَلَى شَيْءٍ مِنْهَا زُوِيَ أَنْكُمَا, and do not even be sorry for missing anything that belongs to this world. Be it khilafah. If you miss anything belonging to this world, do not be sorry about it at all. It's not worth having anyway. وَقُولَا لِلْحَقِّ, and always tell the truth. وَأَعْمَلَا لِلْآجِرِ, and make sure that all your actions are for reward from Allah. Those will be then perfect actions, because actions clean to receive the reward from Allah. وَكُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا وَلِمَظْلُومِ عَوْنًا, and be an opponent to an oppressor and a helper to the one who is oppressed. That must be the guideline to us too. But then in the second paragraph he addresses us, Usikuma, and I make wasiyah to two of you, وَجَمِيعَ وَلَدِي, and all my children, وَأَهْلِي, and all members of my family, وَمَنْ بَلَغَهُ كِتَابِي, and I make this wasiyah to whosoever to whom this testament reaches. That is how we all get included in that wasiyah. He did not want to go without making a will to us also. And he knew that what was more important to us was not money. After all, what worldly wealth did he leave for his own children either? And then follow a list of 10 things that he says by way of wasiyah to us. And of course, the first is usikuma wa jami'a waladi wa ahli wa man balagha kitabi bi taqwa Allah, that all of you should live in fear of Allah. But the second thing he says will amaze the youth. He says, wa nazmi amrikum, and keep your affairs in good order. What we today talk of organization, administration, being an organized person. Indeed, we even have organizers these days which we carry in our pockets. Imam Ali alayhi salam made a wasiyah for that we should be organized in our lives. This is what he said to Malik Ashtar. Passages that we did not manage to reach on Friday night. He says to Malik Ashtar, whatever work you have to do today, complete today. Do not put it off till tomorrow, because tomorrow will bring its own duties of work that you will have to do tomorrow. And allocate time in your day to complete that work, but allocate time first to the prayer of Allah. And choose, when you allocate your time, choose the best time of yours for the worship of Allah. If you feel you can concentrate best at dawn, that is a time for worship of Allah. If it is at dhuhr, if it is at tea time, use that time for worship of Allah, because that gives you the highest reward. That was his advice to Malik Ashtar. But even as the man is dying, he tells us, keep your affairs in order. وَنَظْمِ أَمْرِكُمْ, keep your affairs in good orders. And having said that, the very next thing he says is, وَصَلَاهِ ذَاتَ بَيْنِكُمْ, and maintain good relations amongst yourselves. So important. I say this with emphasis today because we are beginning to reach that stage in our progress, human progress, when man has no time for his fellow human beings. Particularly those of us who lead lives in the western part of the world. Life becomes so fast that there is no time left. You come to hear your brother is in hospital, but have no time to visit him. Can you believe that happening? But it does happen. Little things make us break relations with other people, and we do not hesitate to do so. Imam Ali's wasiyah is, وَصَلَاحِ ذَاتَ بَيْنِكُمْ, make sure you maintain good relations amongst yourselves, and that is addressed to us too. فَإِنِّي سَمِعْتُ جَدَّكُمَا صلى الله عليه وآله, because I heard your grandfather saying, يقول صلاح ذيت البين أفضل من عامة الصلاة والصيام. Because I heard your grandfather, the Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him and his progeny, I heard him say that maintaining good relations amongst yourselves is more preferred in the eyes of Allah than even the general salah and saum, the general prayer and the general fasting. So you can see the level to which Imam Ali alayhi salam elevates maintenance of good relationship between mankind. And easy to understand, because that is how social order and social security would be developed in a society of his followers, when there would exist love and goodwill between mu'mineen, and not attempts to harm one another. Indeed, to protect one another, to help one another. So he says, the Prophet says that Salahu Dhatil Bain, maintenance of good relations, is superior than even the general prayer and fasting. And then he comes to a series of things about which he places greatest importance. And he puts it this way in his will. He says, Allah, Allah, fil aitam, and watch out for the sake of Allah about the orphans. Look after the orphans. But he's prefacing it with the words Allah, Allah, shows how deeply important and significant he finds this advice to be. Allah, Allah, fil aitam, fala tughibbu afwahahum, let them not starve, wala yadhi'u, And do not let them be ruined بِحَضْرَتِكُمْ so long as you are alive. Do not allow one orphan to go hungry when you are alive. And do not allow one orphan to be ruined so long as you are present. That is his advice and the extent of pressure he puts for protection of orphans. And then he says, Wallah, Wallah, fi jiranikum, and in the name of Allah, in the name of Allah, watch out about your neighbors. فَإِنَّهُمْ وَصِيَّهُ نَبِيَّكُمْ, because they are people for whom your Prophet made a specific wasiyah. مَا زَالَ يُوَصِي بِهِمْ حَتَّى ظَنَنَّا أَنَّهُ سَيُوَرِّثُهُمْ. He did not cease talking about the neighbors and the importance of maintaining good relations with neighbors until we reached a stage at which we feared he would say that they too will share in your inheritance. We almost thought that the inheritance will not be confined now to our children, even our neighbors will be given a share of inheritance. To that extent did he say, the Holy Prophet emphasized the need to maintain relations with neighbors. Wallah, Wallah, fil Quran, La yasbikukum bil amali bihi ghayrukum, and watch out insofar as Quran goes, and do not let anybody overtake you in your obedience of Quran. Now that is indeed a high level, that we should be so following the Quran that nobody should be able to follow it more and overtake us in that particular effort. And then the next one, Wallah, Allah, that is the sixth one now, Allah, Allah fi salah. Watch out in respect of your daily prayers. فَإِنَّهَا عُمُودُ دِينَكُمْ, because they are the pillars of your religion. In other words, you become lax for salah, you will find your religion gradually dwindling away from you, gradually going away from you. So important when the youth leaves his university and starts working and finds that time for salah becomes more difficult. He does not have sufficient time, and he finds that when he comes home he is too tired to say his prayers, and alas, goes to sleep without saying his prayers. Those little steps, on occasions when you find it is hard to pray, little events gather up, and they are gathered by the shaitan into creating that laziness in our bodies that eventually make us say that we will say our prayers when the time comes, we will say our prayers before qada, and gradually find that we are reducing the significance and importance of salah. Hazrat Ali says, watch out, because the pillar of your religion, in other words, the one that holds religion is your body, is salah. When they say that it is amududdin, it is not only in the setup of religion that salah is the central pillar. It means that even within yourself, in your spiritual structure, internally, salah is the pillar that holds the structure of Iman and Islam within the human body. And Imam Ali alayhi salam uses strong words, says Allah, Allah, and then says, Wallah, Allah, fi bayti rabbakum. Beware in the name of Allah, of the house of Allah, and do not forsake it so long as you are alive. فَإِنَّهُ إِن تُرِكَ lam tanadharu, because if you do forsake it, you will not be spared. Protection of the Kaaba and attendance to it, and giving the Kaaba the importance Allah has given to it, attracts the kind of importance Imam Ali alayhi salam emphasized in his will, and then says, Wallah, Allah fil jihad, mentions jihad. And it applies to us because he says, Allah, Allah fil jihad, bi amwalikum wa anfusikum wa alsinatakum fi sabilillah. Make jihad all the time in the path of Allah with three things, with three ammunition. Bi amwalikum, that is the first, with your money, with your property. So difficult to make jihad, so difficult to put your hand in your pocket, take out hard-earned money in the path of Allah. But that is the test. That is the test. Hence the promise. For each penny spent, Allah will reward you at least 70, maybe more. These are minimum figures that are quoted. Hence the reward to that extent, because it is that difficult. So when you do feel that difficulty, do not allow shaitan to pester you and keep you away from that deed. Because Hazrat Ali says, Allah fil jihad bi amwalikum wa anfusikum, and by yourselves, wa alsinatikum, and with your tongue. And that tongue can be used in small conversations, because who knows